Hi, I'm John. This is my show, An American Scheme, where I'm proving that Diana Ross is Michael Jackson's actual mother. So this is going to be a little video clip I'm going to show you really quick of Joe Jackson. And this was just a few days after Michael Jackson had passed away. So the one thing I want to highlight is there's Joe Jackson. The man in the white hat standing next to him is a man by the name of Marshall Thompson from the band called the Shy-Lights.
They're doing it right now, and I'm expecting to hear about it from it real soon.
Okay, you know, so they walked off together in front of the media. The Marshall Thompson was with Joe Jackson at this whole thing, okay? Because they're old friends. So I'm going to show you this clip. This is a video in YouTube. The guy's page is named Tom Meros, Tommeros. Tom Meros. Now, Tom Meros has some really good videos and a lot of things that are related to my story. I tried speaking to this guy one time. And then he said, send me an email. I sent him an email, giving him a basic explanation of my story. He replied back to me, oh, I've never heard that before. Okay, and it pissed me off. And it's like a guy with this guy's knowledge, he couldn't ask me one question, couldn't have said, you know, so that's why I've never continued to speak to him again. And then, but the thing is, I've never used his videos because what the problem is, what I'm going to show you is that there's a lot of information in these videos and it's hard for me to express all of this information. So I'm going to run down a few parts of this one because there's some really good information here.
We had it together. And that's where we got our sound from too. Listening to those different groups, you know, like the Dales and Eldorado Spaniels.
Okay, so one of the bands he had referred to where he had built his sound from listening to was a band called the Spaniels. So that's a photo of the band here, the Spaniels, and this is 1957. So there it says Pookie Hudson is one of the members of the Spaniels. And Pookie Hudson, when you go back to Joe Jackson's music career, when Joe Jackson was actually trying to become a musical artist with his band called the Falcons, Pookie Hudson was in Joe Jackson's band. He was in that band. So Pookie Hudson is for sure from Gary, Indiana. So there's a strong connection between Joe Jackson and Pookie Hudson. Okay, and then so this Marshall Thompson, the other thing is this video here is called Marshall Thompson Tells Tom the History of the Shy-Lights. And so here, that was one thing I just wanted to point out is that one of the bands that he was looking at was the Spaniels, which included a member of Joe Jackson's band. Okay, so there's a real serious connection there. So now listen to this part.
Where was the studio? We was at on Walden Street in Chicago, Universal Studio on Walden in Chicago, on the second floor, right there on Walden. Now they recorded for everybody. That's where I introduced the Jackson 5 in the studio with Bruce Seddine. Now wait a minute.
One of the Shy-Lights, the leader of the Shy-Lights, Marshall Thompson. Marshall asked me to go and look at this kid that was on stage at the time I walked in. And I went up there and that was this little bitty guy about like that. And he was spinning around like James Brown. Ooh, hey, ooh.
You introduced the Jackson 5. Yeah, I put him to Bruce Seddine. You know, Michael and them used to come down to our session. They listened to him and Joe and them listen to our session. So I told Michael said, man, I love that engineer we had, Bruce Seddine. So that's how he met Bruce Seddine.
Okay, so Bruce Seddine, he was explaining there, and Michael said, man, I love that engineer, this Bruce Seddine guy. So this is the Bruce Seddine. So this is way back then. Okay, Michael had met this guy way back then. Now, this probably isn't going to show up really clear there, but I'm going to read you a couple things here from the Wikipedia of Bruce Seddine. And it says, is a Grammy Award-winning audio engineer and music producer. Is known for his work with Quincy Jones. Okay, and then it says, Minneapolis-born, Sweden, is a 5-time Grammy Award winner. He recorded, mixed, and assisted in producing the best-selling album in the world, Thriller by Michael Jackson. Okay, so this guy met Michael Jackson way back in the day through this Marshall Thompson. you know? So this Marshall Thompson's a big deal. He's a big deal in the Jacksons thing. And even like right there where I showed you with Joe Jackson, right after Michael's death, there's Marshall Thompson with Joe Jackson. So let me play you one more part here.
And how do you introduce the Jackson 5 to Bobby Taylor? Well, what happened is Bobby come out with a smash hit before us, and he was headlining the show at the Regal Theater. So the Shylights was co-starring with Bobby Taylor. But I had been running the Jackson 5 all over Chicago playing them little clubs. You were taking them around to the little house? In the clubs. Really? The little kids? He's singing and running them out the back door. Oh, wow. So one day, Purvis Band, the blues man, he loved that group, okay? And he said, let's bring them in. They came in on the day one at the talent show in Chicago. So whoever wins the talent show get a chance to play on the big show at the Regal Theater. So they won the talent show, so they end up on the big show opening up for us at the Regal Theater. So they were on the same show with you? Right. They opened up for me. Opened up.
You know, so it's and when you get into the Regal and stuff, and like I said, the history and what's all going on, but you know, so this guy, he was running around town before the Jacksons had won that talent show and had the performance with before the meeting of Bobby Taylor and everything. They were hanging out with this guy, and this guy was running them around other local clubs and stuff, you know, performing with them. And then this guy's history, I would show you more. There's just a lot of history. I can take this guy and I can directly connect him right back to Berry Gordy. When you look at, and I would advise you guys to watch these videos if you want to get real history of what's going on. A video like this shows massive amounts of history, and it shows connections that are going on, massive amounts. And see, like this guy's band, the Shylights, so that's Chicago. The Shy would be for Chicago. And the people that don't really understand that Gary, Indiana is actually just like a suburb of Chicago. It's just right there. And so Chicago is the major city where the Jackson 5, when the Jackson 5 would have been going, their major place where they would have been playing the clubs and all of that stuff is Chicago. This guy's in the Shylights. He's from Chicago. He's all hooked up and his connections run deep in his music. It's crazy stuff. And so that's just what I want to show you here for now, just to let you know there's a lot more here going on than what you people have ever been told. And I don't know how to get you people to start listening to this stuff, because this is a big part of the proving of my story. But you people don't have any clue about any of this stuff. So what do I do? How do I get you here to watch this? I don't know. That's where we're at.